Okay, so I learned recently that a certain NES game, there's a legend surrounding it. It's Gyromite for NES. This is a game I honestly don't really know what the gameplay of Gyromite is like, but I know that this game uses Rob. It's one of the few Rob enabled games. Rob is the NES robot. Okay, so that's what the robot series thing means here. Like, okay, if you don't, so Rob was like a toy that came with the initial like test market run of the NES. I mean, okay, we all know Rob from Super Smash Brothers, right? Rob is a character that you can play as in Super Smash Brothers. But this is like the first game that was made for Rob. Right, so what is it about Gyromite? Apparently, the 5-screw version of Gyromite, which I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's a chance that inside this cartridge is not a standard NES PCB, but a Famicom PCB with a Famicom to NES adapter plugged into it. Like, I guess it was cheaper to just like send the Famicom carts over from Japan and make a little adapter than it was to manufacture new carts. I don't know why Gyromite is like the one that they did it with. Maybe there's a couple other examples. But I thought it would be really fun to open this cartridge up live on stream and see if I have one of these adapters. So yeah, the thing that's interesting is that this is the only official Nintendo produced Famicom to NES adapter, and like you can take it, you can pull it out of here and plug any Famicom game in and play it on the NES. And you know, these adapters are pretty common nowadays. Like you can find third-party ones anywhere, really. Well, anywhere that deals in retro gaming stuff. But it's kind of interesting. It's kind of novel to have like an official one, right? Even if it wasn't meant to be used in that way. So we are gonna open up my copy of Gyromite live on stream, and we'll see if I have the adapter. Okay, got this little handy small tool kit. It's like specifically for taking apart like phones and stuff. Yeah, there. Look at all these little screwdrivers, and one of these things is called a spudger. Maybe this one is called the spudger. We don't need to use this for opening the cart. We just need a screwdriver. Okay, I don't know if this will show up on camera very well, but the screws here are not normal. They're not normal NES cart screws that are usually called game bit screws. They're not those. They're different. They're like, I think like a normal flathead will work, but they've got like a little hole in the middle of the flathead. All right, let's see if we can open it. And I have a little cup here that I'm gonna put the screws in so I don't lose them. I'm excited to see what it holds. All right, there's one. And I have no idea if we have the Famicom adapter or not. So this is me finding out live on stream with you guys. Okay, magnet. Grab onto this screw. There we go. 2. Three. Do any of you guys ever like open up cartridges to replace batteries or try to fix ones that aren't working? We're in the process. That was screw number 4. 1 screw left. Yeah, when I started getting into retro gaming on original hardware, which was around like 2019, is when I went back to my parents' house and brought all my old consoles over here. Like, a lot of them, I had assumed that my Super Nintendo died at some point because I just couldn't get it to play games, but really I just didn't know how to clean games. I mean, it's a very simple thing, but I just never figured it out, I guess. But I brought all my old consoles and I like took them apart and like really thoroughly deep clean the insides of them. That was like one of the first things that I did when I brought my NES and my Super NES here from my parents' house. Okay, we're gonna open it up. Ah, look, we have it, I think. Wait, there's another. So normally there's not this piece of plastic, so that I'm pretty sure that's the adapter. But how do I get it off? There's more screws. Wow, there's 2 more screws here. This is so cool. Okay, are these also the same? I think these are the same type of screw, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so this is an officially made by Nintendo Famicom to NES adapter. It's so cool. It's wild. You know, I do own a Famicom to play Famicom games on, but I'm definitely gonna try this one out. I'm gonna try this out. This screw is a little stuck. Okay, I got it. Gotta be very gentle with them. Can't force anything. Okay, here it is. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, this is weird. Usually, okay, hold on a second. Let's see if I can pull it apart. Okay, I pulled the wrong side off, but yeah, this is just the adapter board. But there's something on. There's a chip on here. I think the direction of this probably matters. I should probably not switch that up. I guess I have it on video. Like, I think this is... I'm a little suspicious about... Because, like, usually there's a ROM chip on here, but there's only these 2 globbed chips. And they're really small. Like, what they do sometimes is they, like, put this black epoxy over the chips to obscure what actual chip is inside of there, so that you can't know without. Well, I guess you could never really tell. Maybe there's ways with like microscopes and stuff. So this is the only ever produced by Nintendo Famicom to NES adapter, and this can work with any Famicom game. I don't know what this would be though. This chip right here, I don't know why that would be here. Okay, so the legend goes that back in like maybe like the 2000s, like when people were like really figuring out stuff about NES for the first time, like going back and figuring out what was going on with a lot of NES stuff, people discovered this, but this was before people like knew how to disassemble cartridges. A lot of, I guess, even though this one just needed like a flathead screwdriver, people would like just crack open Gyromite copies to see if they could get a hold of this adapter. And of course nowadays there's plenty of third parties that make these adapters. They're very easy to find, but just the idea of having like one that was manufactured by Nintendo is kind of cool, right? We're doing retro archaeology, and we found the treasure. This is the treasure. The treasure is right here. Let me pull a Famicom game off the shelf. I have to get up to grab them. Okay, before I plug in the NES, I just wanted to show this is the game I'm going to test. Anybody know what this game is? I do not. Although I'm pretty sure I have put it in the Famicom and tested it. But you know, at some point I bought like a bunch of random Famicom games, and this is one of them. They look so cool. I love how like they're all different colors and they all look different. So we're gonna test this one, and if anyone can tell me the name of this game, you win all the respect for the night. Okay, let's see if it fits. Oh no. Looks like it's Pocket Xeris. Yeah, you have to disassemble the Famicom cart. And this one, I don't see a way to disassemble it. There's no screws. But maybe another one. Maybe I have another one that has screws on it, because they're all different. Well, guys, I think all Famicom carts are like clipped together and not screwed together. So I don't think we're going to be able to test it, unfortunately, on stream. But you know what? Maybe next stream we can. I've never opened one up, and I'm not going to do it now for the first time. Yeah, I just pulled like a bunch of them off the shelf, and like, yeah, they don't have screws. They have these little holes in the top, which, I don't know, maybe you're supposed to stick something in there. Oh, this is Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom for Famicom. It's maybe called something else in Japanese, but that's the NES name of this game, at least. Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. Okay, so yeah, I grabbed just like a bunch of Famicom carts that were all different. Look how this one has a hole in it that you can like see through. I'm trying to put it, like, line it up with the camera so that you can see that indeed. Oh yeah, you guys saw it for a second there, I think. Yeah, there's a hole. I don't know why, just because they think it's fun. But yeah, they don't open. This one, an IREM cart that has this cart has an LED on it, by the way. Look, here's Super Mario Brothers. I have Super Mario Brothers for Famicom. But yes, it's all melty. Look at the melty. To use it, I need to open up the Famicom carts and like put just the PCB in here. And I don't know how to open Famicom carts. They don't have screws. I think they're all like clipped on. So I don't want to try doing that right now on stream, but maybe I'll try and test it later. Off stream, I will perhaps try to open a Famicom cart. Maybe I have a sports game. The sports game will be the sacrificial Famicom cart. So there's these little prongs that stick out. This is where it was screwed into the plastic of the cartridge shell. There's actually like screws inside the cartridge shell, which is the first time I've ever seen that. This was fixed in there through these little flanges, and those block the cartridge from getting on there. Actually, it's like a little wider than it's a little wider than this like the mouth of the cartridge. So yeah, the PCB would have to come out to go straight in there. Doesn't fit otherwise. What's the weight difference between gyromites with the adapter versus without? So I don't have a gyromite without, but I didn't weigh it before opening it or anything, but I could tell just by holding it that it was heavier than a normal NES cartridge. I could definitely tell.